What's up, investors? It's Mike from MJF Invest. I'm going to do today's video about ARK Invest, the Bad Ideas Report 2020. I'm going to go over this document in detail. I'm going to go over the information that ARK has presented to us, and then I'm going to tell you how I am going to use that information and see if possibly that is something that you want to do. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so it is ultimately your decision whether you want to buy or sell any of these stocks. But before I go any further, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel for future content, and let's talk stocks in the comments section. I just know as an investor, there's an overload of information, just an abundance of information. It's constant. It's coming at you from every angle, all hours of the day. And you know, sometimes it could be overwhelming even. You don't know where to put your attention, or sometimes I don't even know what to do with that information. So I just wanted to make content about, you know, this report is fantastic. You know, I'm so grateful as an investor that ARK is so transparent with their research and their information. Really makes, you know, my life easier and all of our lives easier as an investor. So we should be paying attention to that. So this kind of information is invaluable. As an investor, if you're not reading this and into this, I think you're making a big mistake. Priceless information. And I'm so grateful as an investor that ARK is so transparent. Now, I'm not saying just to follow blindly and buy what ARK buys or do what they do. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they make their research readily available. They're not like pushing you necessarily like, oh, buy this stock, oh, buy that stock, or being so specific or targeting stocks. This report, they're releasing information about entire industries and where they see the market going and where they see the economy going. So I'm going to go over it. I'll tell you how I am going to use this information. ARK Bad Ideas Report 2020. Today, we believe the global economy is undergoing the largest technological transformation in history. Disruptive innovation should displace industry incumbents, increase efficiencies, and gain majority market share. As technologies emerge and transform entire industries, investors in traditional benchmarks may face more risk than historically has been the case in the past. To help investors stay on the right side of change, this white paper seeks to identify the industries and sectors most at risk for disruption. We aim to size investors' current exposure to those areas. And then ARK names 5 industries they see prime for disruption. Number 1, physical bank branches. Number 2, brick and mortar retail. Number 3, linear television. Number 4, freight rail. Number 5, traditional transportation. I'm not going to get to all of it in one video because I want to be concise. I know everybody's very busy, and you know, not everybody has the attention span to sit here and listen to a 20-minute video or 30-minute video. So I'm going to cover physical bank branches in this video, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with this information. And they basically start the report by telling the era has believed that the way that they do their banking, they've believed it's going to stay that way forever, right? And ARK is saying that's simply not the case. They credit that to the internet and smartphones. Transforming and disruption of the financial service, thanks to cellular service, they believe smartphones are disrupting financial services more efficiently and cost effectively. Digital wallets, bank branches that are in users' pockets and rendering expensive physical infrastructures useless. And they really highlight the decline or the decrease in customer traffic within a physical bank branch through the last couple of years. And the COVID-19 pandemic has really accelerated this transition. Finance and insurance account for roughly 8% of the GDP in the United States and 10% of the S&P 500's equity market capitalization. In other words, approximately $3 trillion of market cap is facing threat for this disruption. They're showing that there's a decrease in people opening checking accounts and going to physical banks, and there's a very big increase in companies like Cash App, PayPal's Venmo, and Chime. They are increasing their customer base while Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America is decreasing. Now, this is also something I found really interesting. ARK believes that the main reason for this explosive growth in digital wallets is because of lower customer acquisition costs. Compared to the $1,000 on average that traditional financial institutions pay to acquire new customers, digital wallets invest only $20 thanks to their viral peer-to-peer payment ecosystems and savvy marketing strategies, and dramatically lowering cost structures. So, ARK is basically telling you that there's a flaw in physical bank branches, and they're just in their fundamental business model. Just look at that number, $1,000 on average for a new customer who opens a new checking account from a physical bank branch, when it's $20 for PayPal, Venmo, or Chime. I mean, so these companies are benefiting much, much more transition than traditional, physical banks. Now, what do you do with that information exactly? I think of a couple different things. We mentioned Square. They own Cash App, if you're not familiar. That's ticker symbol SQ. I also mentioned Venmo. They are owned by PayPal. That's ticker symbol PYPL. PayPal is one of my favorite companies, or one of my favorite long-term stocks that there is. And we've also talked about Chime. But what else? What other companies could we look at? I'm going to look at the fintech sector. And if you don't know what fintech is, it's a combination of the world's finance and technology. It's digital payments, processing solutions, peer-to-peer payment applications, financial software and services, pretty much. So anything in that sector, I think there could be tons of value. As we've seen, there's a lot of money ripe for disruption here. So fintech stocks should be hot. We've also seen companies like Apple. They partnered with, or they're backed by Goldman Sachs for the Apple credit card. It's happening now that there's companies ready to disrupt this industry, and they're trying to get in. I'd keep an eye on that. That also makes Goldman Sachs kind of interesting to me at this point. I'm going to be looking for fintech stocks. I mentioned a few of them. I'm going to be looking for more with this information, knowing that sector is going to be an explosive sector. It's a sector I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Other sectors that I find really interesting is, as I was reading this report, and it hit me, as we're going more digital, in banking and sales and retail and all this stuff, we're going to be going more digital. And this doesn't only apply just for physical banks. We're going to need to be more secure. So cybersecurity companies are going to be on my radar. Right now, I'm looking at Fortinet, ticker symbol FTNT, Palo Alto Networks, ticker symbol PANW, Zscaler, ticker symbol ZS, Norton LifeLock, ticker symbol NLOK. Just to name a few, but I'm going to be keeping my eyes open for companies that could provide individuals with more security, more cybersecurity, as well as companies that could provide institutions with better cybersecurity. Because the more we go digital, the more traffic that's going digital, the more secure we're going to need to be. So companies can definitely win there as well. Data companies is another one. That's a sector that I'm going to be focusing on. Big data. So companies like Splunk and MongoDB. Pure Storage sticks out in my head, just to name a few. But I'm going to be hunting for more big data companies as well. And cloud computing is going to be another sector that really accelerates. So I'm going to be looking at companies like CrowdStrike, ticker symbol CRWD, Datadog, ticker symbol DDOG, DocuSign, ticker symbol DOCU, and Fastly, just to name a few. I'm open-minded about this. If you guys have any other companies or any other sectors maybe that I'm missing, let's talk stocks in the comment section. Let me know. Let me know what you think. But I'm definitely going to be looking for companies within those sectors. It's still early in the game for me. I didn't invest. I don't own any of those companies that I mentioned except for PayPal at the moment, just to be transparent. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. I'm going to cover the rest of this report. The next video is going to be about brick and mortar retail. I'm going to go over what ARK says in the report and then give you some more stocks that I'm going to be looking at. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found some value.